I have 8 changes to make if you really want to be successful. I'm David Oneal, and this is Ultimate Mind Hacks. And we start right now. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing everything right. I feel like I've got the right people in place. I've got the right mindset. I've written the plan. I've taken everything into account. I even write down a list and go, okay, everything's not going to go exactly like I planned because there's other people involved and they're going to have their own ideas, but I'm going to plan for it. And guess what? I still fail sometimes, and it's not fun at all. So this show's about being successful despite what? Despite life. Despite life. So let's get into it right now. Number 1, develop absolute clarity. Dude, it's easy to blame the government, your boss, a poor economy, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your parents, Santa Claus, everybody, the virus, everything but you, right? Everything but you is stopping your success, right? Having clarity is important in taking charge of your life and determining your success. If you know what you want and you're 100% clear about it, you can clear out all the distractions and the energy burners that seem to be taking all of us in the wrong direction. Now, number 2, improve your relationships. It's not hard to figure out why some people are just failures. Look at who they hang out with. If you're around millionaires and there's 5 of them, guess who's going to be the 6th millionaire? It's going to be you. Conversely, if you hang out with heroin addicts, guess who's going to be a heroin addict soon? Or at least think about heroin in a new way. You or me. That's why I don't hang out with heroin addicts. And sometimes you think, well, I'm shielding or I'm, in lockdown because of the pandemic and all that, right? But who are you listening to maybe on YouTube? Who are you listening to on podcasts? What kind of media are you watching on the television? What are you reading? What kind of music are you listening to? Who are you talking to over on Zoom or FaceTime? Yeah, if you're listening to negative podcasts, or even if you're just watching the news, the news is not designed to lift you up and make you all happy. The news is about getting views. Remember, the news is free. Do you know why the news is free? Because you are the product. Whether it's the government wanting to influence you in some way, products, the media, somebody is wanting to influence you. The news is not your friend. Watch out what you're watching. Watch out who you're listening to. Watch out who your circle is. Because I'm telling you what, I'll tell you a quick story. In the 90s, I was living in Long Beach, the LBC. And I was living with my girlfriend back then. This was like 91. And it was a bad area. It was by the beach, but it was sketchy, they didn't make all those rap songs back in the 90s because Long Beach was a pristine area. No, it was pretty rough. And so I saw a lot of sketchiness, horrible looking cars, a general malaise about society when I would walk around, and people weren't talking about, hey, let's talk about investing, or hey, let's talk about how bright the future is. No, they were talking about, I got no money. I got to get out of California. This place is too expensive, man. Yeah, I'm going to move to Texas. They were talking like that. You know what I did? I moved. Now, I didn't have the money to move. I was paying, $450 a month to rent half of a crap apartment in the bad part of Long Beach. But you know what I did? I moved into a mansion. How did I do that? I rented a room on Craigslist. The guy was renting a room for $550. I called him up and said, hey, I'm a student. I can only afford $450, but I can pay you in advance 2 months, and I'll stay there 12 months, right away. I'll sign a lease, and I work most of the time, so I'm really not there too much. And he was like, okay. And so I moved into this mansion, beautiful house, right off the golf course, right? He had a Porsche car. There was a Rolls Royce down the street. I saw a guy in a Ferrari not once, but twice, and he lived on the same street. And nobody was talking about not having money, and nobody was talking about how bad things were. Nobody wanted to leave their mansion in California and the big swimming pool that we had in the backyard. And for the same price as I was living in the LBC, I was living now in a place called Laguna Niguel, the rich area. Now I had to drive to work at Disneyland probably an extra half hour every day through traffic with my crap Suzuki Samurai. But guess what? I was around a different environment. I started acting differently at work. And I quit my job as a janitor soon afterwards, because even though I was making a steady $8 an hour, which was good when minimum wage was $3, that just wasn't good enough in my new environment. And the people I was now talking to really wouldn't want to hang out with a janitor from Disneyland, right? So I quickly became a video editor, and then I was making, I think I went from $18,000 a year to $60,000 a year in about 6 months. That's what I'm saying. Number 3, stop being busy. Be productive. People live busy lives and they think that the more they work, the more successful they'll be. They're even going to take pride in the status. I'm always busy, man. However, rethink the term busy or hard work. Hard work, that's not the same as being productive. Doing smart work is necessary to be successful. Try rearranging your priorities, or either eliminate or delegate those activities that do not propel you towards your goal. I often think like, is what I'm doing right now getting me further towards my goal? So number 4 is change your attitude, whether it's towards work or towards challenges and obstacles that we're all going to face. It's really important to have the right attitude to meet what you will be presented with. Now, the right attitude builds up a belief system, increases confidence, character, and energy. And people who are unsuccessful really show a poor attitude and lack charisma. Improving your attitude will attract success. I often think like today there was a bunch of challenges, right? I got some stuff. I thought I'm going to have something by a certain date. It got moved out by a month. And so immediately I was upset. Like, I took a step back. I wrote down everything, that I wanted to have happen. And I was so attached to the dates that it was going to happen by that I was so angry. It's like, okay, they moved it out by a month, but these things are still going to happen. And so I just wrote the list out and said, okay, all these are going to happen. And if the dates change a little bit, that's okay. And so my attitude changed, and I went from to, hey, that's cool. All right, number 5, take care of your health. Dude, don't underestimate this. Taking care of your health is important. Today I started a 30-day fitness challenge with my girlfriend, and we're just eliminating things like soy and processed sugars and wheat and that kind of stuff. And I already eat vegan, if not vegetarian. I would say about 98% vegan, the rest vegetarian. But just eliminating these extra things is good. It's a 30-day cleanse, and I think we're going to be doing a video on it soon. But it's like I take care of my health so I don't look like I'm almost 50. Now, be organized. This means diligently following a routine, a schedule, planning ahead, being consistent. This is all about success. In life, there are many distractions. Some can be really cool, like, hey, you want to go to Vegas? Yeah. Is that getting you towards your goal? Well, if your goal is to go to Vegas, then go to Vegas. But if your goal is to get some work done or get some money, going to Vegas might not help. Going to Vegas is great. Love it. I love going to Vegas. If you guys want to take me to Vegas, sign me up. But it may not fall in line with your goals. If you're not passionate about what you're doing and you're not striving for excellence and you're in something we call mediocrity, forget what Disney movie that was in, but the guy's like, mediocrity? I don't remember what it is. If you know, let me know in the comments. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, stop doing whatever you're doing and find something you're passionate about and then do that. You got to love and enjoy the process. Like, I love shooting YouTube videos. I mean, I'm shooting a YouTube video. Later, I got to edit it, but right now I'm shooting it. I love it. And do I love editing it? Yeah, it's a lot of fun too. It's really, really fun. But you got to be passionate about whatever you're doing. Every successful person is passionate about what they do. All right, number 8, last one. Act now. No, I'm not trying to sell you something. Unless you want to buy something in the links below. We got all kinds of cool courses to teach you about making money with crypto, baby. Now, the difference between successful people and those who are not successful is that unsuccessful people wait for stuff to happen. Dude, you can't afford to do that. You got to dive in right now. There cannot be a perfect time to start. You always think, like, I started a drone show podcast once, right? And I announced it on Facebook Live. This was in 2014, March of 2014, right? I didn't really know what I was going to talk about, but I said, yeah, there's going to be a drone show podcast coming up. It's going to be live. I guess it wasn't a podcast, it was a broadcast. And so I put it in all these drone groups. I announced it. Then I started shooting it. And people are like, oh, when's the show start? I'm like, oh, it's on right now. And they're like, well, this sucks. I'm like, whatever. Now, that show became very popular, led to a couple different businesses, and became quite successful for me and my family. And I just started. Think about Bill Gates. He had the DOS system, right, before Windows. Now, him and this guy sold it to a computer guy, and it wasn't quite ready. But they didn't go like, oh, it's not ready. They're like, yeah, it works pretty much. If it's not, we'll fix it. They put it on all the computers. The computers broke. They fixed it. Dude's like the richest guy in the world because he started. He just started. Don't be waiting. Don't procrastinate. Go for your dreams, guys. I'm David Oneal. This was Ultimate Mind Hacks. Please like, share, and subscribe. And leave me some comments. Talk to you soon.